Right. Observe the recording always. Access modifiers. Access modifiers are keywords which will specify the accessibility or access level of a class or class member. Okay. Access modifiers are keywords which will specify the accessibility or access level of a class or class member. We can use these access modifiers. We can use these modifiers in class level, means at the time of defining class, or class member level, or class member level. So you can call these are access modifiers or access specifiers. Both the terminology is same, and which will be specifying the accessibility of a class or class member. We can use these modifiers in class level or class member level. In C#.NET, we have 5 types. Number 1, public. Number 2, private. Number 3, protected. Number 4, internal.
Internal.
Number 5, protected, internal. So in C#.NET we have 5 types of access modifiers. Number 1, public. Number 2, private. Number 3, protected. Number 4, internal. Number 5, protected, internal. Let's talk about public. Yeah, public. If you declare a class or class member, access modifier as a public, which can be accessed by all the classes of all the projects of the current application. All the classes of all the projects of the current application. Within that application, there is no restriction. If you want to understand this, before understanding this, we need to understand what is that, we need to understand architecture of the .NET application. .NET application architecture, let me explain. Yeah, your application is your .NET application is a collection of projects. It may contain collection of projects. Let's say it contain project 1, project 2, contain project 3. And the project is a collection of class files. Right? Class 1.cs, one class file. Class 2.cs, another class file. Let's say program.cs. Again, class file is a collection of classes.
Objects.
Class file can contain collection of classes. Again, class can contain class. It can contain classes. No, class, if you take classes, class can contain members. Members means can be state or behavior, like method or variable. Like, finally, you can observe the starting application is a collection of projects. An application may contain multiple projects. Project is a collection of class files. Class file can contain collection of classes. So a class can contain members. Finally, here in this member you have a one member called main method. This is controlling the throughout the application. So this is the hierarchy of the architecture of or hierarchy of .NET application. Right. Now in this you can observe. Right. You can observe. That is the story. Now if you will go to your application in your Visual Studio .NET, I'm opening my Visual Studio .NET application. You observe, I'm opening my Visual Studio .NET application. My console app. Right. I will show you that architecture, because understanding that architecture is very, very important right now. or especially your access modifiers concept. For example, you created one application that is just, let's take console application only example. Now you can see. So let's say it has one class, my class, and another class called program. But what is this architecture of the application? Right, you can observe. So you can observe here in this, you can observe uh, the solution is nothing but application. That application contain right now by default one project. That project name is my console app. The project contain a class files. Right now we have only one class file, but it can contain multiple class files. Right now this is called solution, nothing but application. This is called project. So you can add one more project also now. You can add one more project. You can observe. I'm adding another project. Right click, add new project. But whenever I'm adding new project, you can observe you have to add the project to, not to project. You need to add the project to solution. Solution is nothing but application. That's why I have selected this one. Suppose if you will select this, you will not get the option of what project option. Generally, if you will select this, what will happen? Right click, add, add. You're not getting. You're not getting. Okay, so that is the story. Voice is breaking, guys. Hello.
Sometimes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
1 second. 1 second.
screen also a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit
Right,
slow.
right, right. I had a doubt about that network. Right. Yeah. Now network. Let's see for 5 minutes. Still 5 minutes because one network is the one network which we will use every day. That is not working, and the second network is quality wise. I am seeing it seems not good. Okay, we'll see for 5 minutes. Till if voice is breaking, we'll cancel the session. Don't worry. Okay. Right. So you observe. Now you observe my voice. Uh, so are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
What about voice? Voice.
Voice is also clear, sir, now.
You see for 5 minutes.
Yes.
If it's not clear, definitely I'll stop the class. Network issue is there. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Now we're discussing about this. Now this is application. Actually, this is application and solution. We will call it as solution. So, but here why you will get confused, your solution name and your first project name both will be same. So that's why. So if you want to add one more project, you have to select application, right click, add new project. Now new project you are adding. Let's say give the project name as project 2. Project 2. Yes. Okay, one project is added. So right now you can observe previously we have only one project. Right now it is showing how many projects are there?
Two.
Two projects.
Two projects. This is the first project and this is the second project. First project contain a class file called program.cs. Second project contain a class file called class1.cs. Now if you want to add third project, sometimes user may, because actually this is the whatever I am going to show you is the 3-tier architecture model. Just today I am explaining because we need to understand this model to understand access modifiers concept, otherwise you will have a confusion. Suppose I want to add one more project, project 3. Then for example you selected this add, means actually you observe this, right click and you observe this. If you are selecting, like you are selecting project, when you are selecting project you can observe it is not showing a new project. Instead of that it's showing only new item or existing item, because you are selected not application, you are selected what project. If you will select the project you cannot add one more project. For project you can add only class files, all these things, but you cannot add a Another project. So most of the time people will get confused here. That's why I'm giving this clarity. Now let's add one more project. Select application, add new project. Let's say project 3, project 3, and click OK. Total how many projects? 3 projects. First project, second project, and third project. Total number of projects are how many? 3. 3 projects. Okay guys, so with this we understood all these things. So that's why what I am telling you, you can observe public means uh, if you declared a class or class member access modifier as public, which can be accessed by all the classes of all the projects within that application. So throughout that application there is no restriction to access a public member. There is no restriction to access a public member throughout the application. So let me give you more clarity about public small diagram. Yes, I'll give you about more clarity about public with small diagram. You observe a generalized explanation I'm giving you. Yes, let's say it is one application. It is one application. Yeah, it is a gated community application. It is an application. It is an application. Nothing but gated community. One gated community. You are staying in a gated community. In that gated community, you have one project called one tower called project 1, another tower called project 2, another tower called project 2, 2 here 1, here 2, here another tower called project 3, project 3, totally 3 towers. In every tower project 1 contain classes C1 flat. Flat is nothing but class. Let's say C1, C2, C3, C3 and C4, and K1 is another flat class, K2 some XYZ Kn, and here M1 flat number, M1, M2 and M3. Okay, yes. Here I am staying. This is my class, my house. I am staying. Me. Me. Here security is there, and here in your gated community you have one swimming pool. You have one swimming pool. Swimming pool access modifier you people declared as public. Here my question is, it is my class. In my class it is one member, my class member. Okay, now you guys, you tell me who can access this swimming pool.
Gated everyone.
Now C1, C2, C3, C4, C1, C2, C3, 4 can access or not all?
Yes.
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 K1, K2,
Yes.
M1, M2, M3,
Yes.
Yes.
can I access?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I access?
No.
No, you cannot.
No,
Another
security
application,
will
right?
stop me. He will not allow me because I am not part of this
Community.
application. I am not part of this application.
Application.
So it is available to throughout all the people of the application
Application.
because the access modifier is
Public.
public. That is clear. I hope you are clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That is a story about public. Okay, right. So, right. We have one student right now in Hyderabad batch, just now completed. Very different experience is, she is BZC, degree is BSc Nursing. BSc Nursing, and doing hospital management in NIMS, Hyderabad, hospital management, MBA in hospital management, masters, and due to her BSc nursing, she got job in Durgabai Deshmukh. Okay, so now she is learning .NET. Somebody told about me. She came to last batch. She completed course now. She is starting trials now. But she had a bond with Durgabai Deshmukh people up to December. That's why she is working. And she, the wonder is, when she came to classes, when she met, she asked me, can I learn? And she, no problem, you can learn, anybody can learn. So she doesn't have C language. She doesn't have any other knowledge except Gmail, Facebook, Google. Okay, now she is able to write. Out of 200 students in the batch, whenever I have given a program, so out of 5-6 people who will show the first program, she is one of the person. Are you clear? So with this, I understood one thing. With lot of so many experiences I have, recent experience is this. With this, I have identified one thing, that is anybody can learn programming. Okay, they should have a bit of interest. Okay. Now coming to public, that is the scope of the public. So let's see with one small example about public. We'll see with one example with public. I'll show you one example in public. Yeah. Let me delete all the 2 projects right now. Right click, remove. Okay. Yes. 3 projects. Okay. 2 projects are removed. Now, yes. Now, yeah. Class C1, C1. In C1 class, let us assume I have defined one method. Public void method 1. Public void method 1. Console dot write line. Console dot write line. Method 1 is calling. Method 1 is calling. Now internal void 1 minute. Give me 1 second. Internal void method 2. Method 2. Yes. Okay. Only method 1 access modifier I have given as a public. Okay. Method 2. And I'm sorry. Before entering into this concept, we need to understand one more point. I forgot to discuss with you. That is, yes, one is accessing instance members within the class. This is one consideration. Accessing instance members from outside the class. From outside the class. Come on, tell me. Accessing instance members within the class. Accessing instance members from outside the class. Generally, whenever you need to access instance member, you need actually object. But when you are accessing instance member within the class, what you need? Do you need object or not required?
Not
No,
required.
what is that?
Let's say my question is,
Not required.
forget about public for some time. Forget about public, all these things. Okay, just you have one class called my class. You have a class called my class. So you have defined one method, internal void m1. So this m1 method I want to access internal void m2. Internal void m2. My question is, whenever we want to access instance members, generally you need what? Object. Now m1 method I want to access from m2.
You can write M1 as
Generally
M1.
you need m1 is an instance member, but is a member method of my class. But you are trying to access from m2. M2 is also a member of same class. So both are from same class. Here also, do we need object to create for a my class or not required?
Not
Not
required.
required.
That's method name.
Not
Not
required.
required.
Directly you can call what? M1. Directly you can call what? M1. With this, what we understood? Accessing instance members within the class can be
Direct.
Directly.
with what object? Accessing instance members from outside the class. Accessing instance members from outside the class. For example, you have another class. Let's say class C2 colon, my class. So C2 colon my class. Now within the my class you have one method, internal void show. So within the show method, show is a member method of which class?
C2.
C2 class. Show is a member method of C2 class. So show is a member method of C2 class. So show method wants to access M1. Show method wants to
Need a no.
C2
Yes,
is the
method name.
derived class of my class. Show method is the derived class method. This derived class method want to access the base class instance method. Now, come on, tell me. Yeah, forget
Method
about inheritance for some time. Again, here you have a confusion. Forget about inheritance because inheritance I didn't explain. So just let's take a class called my class. My class member, instance member called M1. You are trying to access from other class outside of the class called C2 class. Within the C2 class method, I need to access. I want to access. Come on, tell me.
We need to create object.
You need to create object for which class?
My class.
Method.
Show.
My class obj equal to new my class. My class obj equal to new my class. What is that?
Object dot
obj dot m1. Obj dot m1. What is the moral of the story? What is the moral of
You can directly access the instance methods from the same class, but from outside the class, if we need to access, we'll have to create a object.
Moral of the story is accessing instance member from outside the class. Answer is
Need
we need
object to create
to be created.
object. We need what? Object. Over clear all of you. Right. Next to accessing static members within the class. Static members within the class. Accessing static members from outside the class. Accessing static members from outside the class. Accessing static members within the class. Accessing static members from outside the class. Accessing static members within the class. Accessing static members from outside the class.
Directly accessible.
Now this we have to check now. Right. You have a static member called M1. You have a static member called M1. Okay. Static member called M1 from other static method called M2 you want to access. So how to access? Generally static member means you need class. But here you can access what? Directly. Here you can access what? Directly. With this we understood what? Whenever you are accessing static member from within the class, directly. Now accessing static members from outside the class. Accessing static members from outside the class. Outside the class.
Class name dot
Outside the
method.
class. Outside the class means I want access from like this. Show method. Show method is also let's say static method. But this method is a member of C2 class. But you want to access my class member called M1. Now how to access? Can I access directly M1? No. You have to access with the help of
Class.
name dot method name.
Method.
Class name dot method name. That's it. Class name dot method name. So here
Method
moral
name.
of the story is what? Moral of the story is what? By using by using by using what?
Class
Class.
name.
Static methods from a different class, we have to use a class name.
Class. Okay
Class
now.
name.
So this you have to remember. So with this with what we understood, accessing the instance members within the class can be directly. Accessing instance from a
Directly.
member, instance from outside the class, we need what?
Object.
Object.
Class name.
Accessing static members within the class directly.
Directly.
Accessing the static members from outside the class by using
Class.
class. Over story is completed. Okay now. So now come back to our discussion. That is okay. So that understanding is important. Now you see. Now I am giving an example for public example. Project name is public example. Right. You observe guys. You observe. Right. Public example. Right. I'm defining a class C1, class C1. In this class C1, you have one method public void M1 or method 1 public void method 1 right method 1 coming to method 1 console dot write line method 1 is calling method 1 is calling okay na right let's say internal only one method I'm giving as the public because our focus is on public void method 2 method 2 here my question is method 1 I want to invoke within the method 2 here I want to invoke first of all do I have the accessibility or not
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are in the same class,
can
so
we
we can
access
directly
or
connect.
not yes why because
Yes.
the reason is okay public members you can access throughout the application even though not only within the class throughout the application accessibility is given by the public to throughout the application no problem regarding accessibility first consideration is can I access or not anything second is how to access means now it is instance member with the help of object or directly now
Yes.
Directly.
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 uh,
Method direct.
Method
yeah
name.
object is required or directly now that is
Method 1.
important
Directly.
directly. That is
Directly.
only we have discussed
Directly.
till the time. Why directly? Because you are within
Class.
Class.
the class. What is the directly?
Yes.
What is the directly?
Method
Method
name.
one.
Method 1.
Method one. The directly is nothing but method 1. And here just I am giving one more message. Console dot write line. Method 2 is calling. Method 2 is calling. Our story is completed. Story is
Your voice.
are we come on so method 2 is calling right fine so up to here we tried only within the class now we'll go with another class class 2 class 2 one more class 2 or c1 na c2 we can give the name as c2 make it simple c2 within the c2 class within the c2 class within the c2 class right you observe within the C2 class, what I am planning, I am defining one method, void, internal void, let's say method 3, let's say method 3, internal void method 3, okay. Now method 1, method 2, method 3. Method 3. Right. Right. Method 1, method 2, method 3. Now in method 3, I want to access method 1. In method 3, I want to access method 1. Come on, tell me.
By creating the object of class.
You have to create object.
Same dot method.
Right.
No, no.
First my question is, within the method 3, listen. Within the method 3, can I access method 1 or not?
Yes.
Within the method 3, can I access method 1 or not?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. It's a public, right?
Within the method 3, can I access method 1 or not?
Yes, sir, we can access.
You can access or not. That is deciding by the access modifier of the method 1. Access modifier of the method 1 is what? Public. Public means you can access that member throughout the application. So accessibility wise you don't have any issue. Now how to access? How to access?
Class 1.
How to access directly or with the help of object?
With the help
Directly.
of object.
With the help of object. Object to which class?
C1.
C1 class.
C1.
C1, OBJ1, C1. Okay, some object. New C1. C1, OBJ1, C1, new C1. C1. Next to OBJ1, C1 dot, OBJ1, C1 dot,
Method 1.
what is that? Method 1. Over. Now console dot write line method 1 is method 3 is calling. Method 3 is calling. Yes. Method 3 is what? Calling. Right. 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 Method 3 is calling. Over. Story is completed. Okay guys. Now next. This is the story. After this, yeah. Now come back to main method. In main method, I want to call. I want to call. Again, I want to call in main method. I want to call method 1, method 2, method 3. If I want to call method 1 and method 1, forget about method 2. I want to call method 1. What I have to do?
Create the object.
I have to create what? Object. Object for which class?
C1.
C1 class.
C1 class.
C1 class.
So C1 class already, C1 class object already available within the method 3. Can I use the same object here also?
Yes.
No.
No.
Because
No,
that will be
object we
local
cannot
variable.
So my question is, within the main method, I want to access method 1. If I want to access method 1, I can access, but I need to create an object because from outside the class. My question is, that object of C1 class already created in method 3.
But it will end in the
OBJ1 C1 is a local variable for that particular method. So we cannot use that in main.
Yeah. Yeah. Now here,
object.
yeah, tell me.
Because the object will be already created in
OBJ1 C1 is a local variable for that particular method. So we cannot use
Method
that
is
in
not public, it's internal.
Yeah. So
No,
already
So
object
that
is
is a local object.
C1 class object is there in method 3.
Method 3 is internal, not public, so you can access directly.
1 minute. 1 minute. This
No, but
object
the object is
may access in which method.
no.
No,
no, sir, we
no.
cannot.
Why? Reason.
Because it's not public.
OBJ1 C1 is local
Local
variable.
variable
Yes.
for method.
We cannot access.
Because listen, concentrate.
Method 3 is
What
not
is
public.
happening? Concentrate here. Let me explain. Okay, because the reason is C1 class object. Let's say somewhere from you are calling method 3. Whenever method 3 is called, what will happen? This statement execute. New will create object.
It will create object.
New will create object. These are all interlinking stories. Right. చెప్పుకుంటూ పోతే డెప్త్ ఉంటుంది, వదిలేస్తే లైట్ తీసుకోండి. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ C1 1010. The object will contain addresses of two methods. Number 1 method 1, number 2 method number 2 method 2. Okay na? Right. Now constructor is called. Next LHS is what? Creating a reference variable obj1c1, and the default value of this reference variable will be null because of assignment operator address is 1010. This is a variable is creating on behalf of a method called method 3. The reason it is called local variable. It is called which variable? Local variable. Local variable. Once the method execution is completed, which method? Method 3. Once control is encountered the closing brace of the method 3, what will happen? Method execution is completed. Once method
Local variable will be destroyed.
variable will be destroyed. So the object will become unreferred object. Means this way object or everything is creating as part of the method execution, and it will be destroying once method execution is completed. Finally, you can say this object will be available only within the
Method 3.
method 3, which you cannot access outside. That is the reason we cannot access this. We cannot access this object within the main method. We cannot access this within the main method. So within the main method, what we have to do? Within the main method, we have to
You
create,
have to create object.
Create another
more
object.
object. We have to create one more object for which class? C1 class.
Of class C1.
C1 class. C1. My question is, can I create object? I am creating object. While I am creating object, can I use the same name?
Yes, sir.
Can I use the same name?
You can.
Yes.
Can I use the
Reference variable.
same name called obj1c1?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
No, I think.
Same name can I use here? Means obj1c1 equal to new c1. So many doubts you will get clear now here. obj1c1. Can I create like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
sir.
don't have any problem. You can observe no error also. Why you can create? Because why you can
Say,
create?
the
Because
class.
you can observe C1.
Local
Sorry, obj1 C1 is the local for method 3, and this obj1 C1 is local for the main method. So in your house Ravi can be there, in my house Ravi can be there. That Ravi, this Ravi is different. But in your house, two Ravis, two people, two kids cannot have the same name called Ravi. Ambiguity issue will come. Once you will call Ravi, two boys will respond. So that is the story. With this, you can have both places different names. Different names. Sorry, same names you can have. But even though, just remember, you can have, but just I am creating with a different name, but you can have the same name. obj2 c1 equal to new c1. Now I am calling like obj2 c1 dot obj2 c1 dot c1 dot yes c1 dot method c1 dot method 2 method, sorry, first let me call method 1, method 1 over, method 1 is over. Okay, right. Can I call method 2 also? Yeah. Okay, I
Yes.
can call method 2 also. Forget about method 2. I am not calling right now, or else if you want you can call also obj 2 dot 2 c1 dot what is that method 2. If you want you can call again. I want to call method 3. If I want to call method 3, I need to create object for
C2 class.
class.
C2 class.
C2.
G2 class.
C2 class. Tell me what is that? C2
C2
is
object
one,
3.
Into
two
object
different names. Equal to new
New
C2.
C2.
OBJ
Object one,
what
C2,
dot what is that? Dot
method
OBJ2
OBJ dot
C1.
OBJ
method three.
OBJ1
OBJ1,
OBJ1 two
C2
dot
dot method 3.
method three.
method 3. Okay, na? Right. So this is the program. Have you written the same program, all of you?
Yes.
Yeah. What I am asking you, just observe this code when I am explaining. Tracing, you observe. Tracing means I am not doing any memory allocation. You can understand. Just observe. Compilation and execution. You can observe. What's happening? You observe. Now, right. You can observe now. Middle. Right. Right. Whenever you run the application, program execute starts by main method. Here one object will create. It's calling first method 1. Method 1 is calling. Method 1 is calling. Output is what method 1 is calling. Again, what is happening? After that, control will execute. Calling which method? Method 2. Method 2, but in method 2 again you are calling which method? Method 1. So two outputs you got continuously. Method 1 is calling. Again method 1 is calling. Okay, right. Next after this, yeah, what is that here? Console dot write line. What is this? Method 2 is calling. Okay, again control will come back to here, creating one more object. One object. One object for which class this time?
class
C2.
C2. C2. This is invoking which method? Method 3. In method 3 again you are creating object for class 1. C1. C1. In method 3 here one more object is created. Which object it is?
object one C1.
Object
One,
one class.
one first. And here again you are calling which method?
Method
Method 1. At the time of method 1 is calling, output is method 1 is calling again. Method 1 is calling. Okay, method 1 is calling, and again method 1 is calling. After that, here it is calling. Which method is calling?
Method
Method 3 is calling. Method 3 is calling and console.relay. So here important point to understand is what is that, public members can be accessed throughout the
Application.
that is point you have to understand. Public members can be accessed throughout the application. Now come back to our discussion. Second one, private. What about private? Private members. If we declare a class or class member access modifier as a private, which can be accessed only within the class. Private. If we declared a class or class member access modifier as a private, which can be accessed only within the class. You can access only within the class. Right, within the class. So what is that within the class? I'll tell you with small example again. I'm going to give you with one small example. Right, what is this private? How it is exactly. Right. Okay guys, suppose it is your house. It is your house. I'm giving clarity about private. It is your house. So house. So your house is a class. The class name is C1. Here you have master bedroom. Here you have a locker. Here you have a locker. Locker is having cash, gold, jewelry and so on. Right. But access modifier of this locker you declared as private. Okay. This is your father, mother, you. Okay. Right. This is your class. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. My house. Yeah, C2 class versus C1 class. It's me. It's me. It's me. Okay, right. My question to all the people. Father, your father, member of your class. Mother, mother, and you. You. This is you. My question is, this locker, who can access?
Only family members.
Father can access, mother can
Mother and
access, and you can access. Why you all the three people can access? Because you three people are members of the this class. Which class?
P1.
P1
One
class.
class.
Yes.
Can I access?
No.
No.
Yes.
You will beat me like anything if I will try to access. Sir,
It's a
now
thief.
stick పెద్ద కర్ర తీసుకొని కొట్టేస్తున్నాను. So why I cannot access this locker? Reason is I am not the member of this class. Yes or no? I am the access modifier. The private scope is only within the
Class.
class,
Yes.
not outside the class. I am coming from same class or other class.
Other class.
I am coming from other class. That other class is what? C2. But locker is part of which class?
P1.
Even. That is the scope of private. Private members can access only within the
Class.
class. Within the class. That's it. Okay, now within the class. So whatever I'm teaching you will be useful in all areas. Whatever C# we are learning today, whatever ASP.NET you are learning tomorrow, whatever ADO.NET you are going to learn the day after tomorrow, all these is the base for your .NET career. Whether tomorrow you go for advanced MVC or anything else, but this knowledge will give you sound information about future topics. I'm sure about that. Okay, you will never have any.
Sir, when
Come on.
when we are talking about members, then we are talking about both methods and variables.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, everything will come under everything. It member means anything. It can be state, it can be behavior. State means variables. Variable means instance variable, static variable, read only, constant. Okay, and
Okay.
behavior means constructor, method, and so on. Some other topics also will come. Indexer, next level, property. There are so many. Any member. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right, come back to our discussion. Coming to private. Small change. Private example. Private example. Okay. Yes. Right. You are having private example. Class C1. Right. Class C1. Right. Yeah, sorry. I've done a small mistake. C1, nothing else. You have the last program, all of you? No?
Yes.
I'm sending two classes code, guys. Copy, paste into chart, sending to you. You copy and paste into your system. Must to do this task, all of you. Two classes code I have sent you through chart. You copy and paste into your system. Done now. In your Visual Studio, in your semi console example. Done. Next, main method code also, whatever code I have written in main method in previous example, copy, paste, and you also just copy paste. Got it? Huh? What I have changed, I have done for the above example, very simple. What I have done, I have just changed the access modifier of only one small change. Method 1 I have changed and I have sent to you. Method 1 access modifier I changed as public to private. Public to private. You do what you know. Whichever is possible, you continue. Whichever is not possible for the above program, whichever, wherever you have a difficulty, avoid it. Do it for 2 minutes. What I have done, method 1 access modifier I changed as private. In the same program,
It's not allowing to.
whatever, no, what I am telling, in the total program, whichever is possible, do it. Whichever is not possible, remove it. Otherwise,
Yes, sir, done.
code as a
The
comment.
method 1 is not
Make that
allowed.
code as a comment. You tried or not? First you tell me.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
sir.
All of you.
Right.
All of you.
Yes, sir.
Think about when you are trying, you think about private scope. Right. Okay. You see. Yes. Here my question is, can I call method 1 or not?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir.
Can I call method 1 or not?
No.
Done.
No.
There we can call, sir. In method 2, we can call method 1.
Can I call method 1 or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No.
Yeah, method 1 you
So
can
from
call
the
here.
same class, from the same class we can call.
Why you
Class
call
is-
method 1? Because method 1 is a member of same class.
Even class.
One class and method 2 is also from same class. So method 2 is also from same class. Same class member is trying to access. So here you can call, no doubt, no issues. And do we require object or not?
No.
No, that is cleared in the last program. This is okay. Up to class 1, sorry, C1 class, you don't have any issue. Coming to C2 class, method 3. In method 3, I am trying to access method 1.
No,
Okay,
you
not.
cannot.
No, no.
Yes,
No, sir. This is
method
what I-
1 was
So method
declared in
in
private
method
class.
3, can I access method 1?
No.
No.
No, no.
No. Why?
Method
Because
1 is
Different class.
Because
private
method
class.
1 access modifier is private, can be accessed only within the C1 class. But right now you are trying to access from which class?
C2 class.
C2 class.
C2 class. So it is not possible. So totally I am removing C2 class. Removed. I removed C2 class completely. You also remove. Okay now. Right. Next to coming to the main method. In main method I created object for C1 class. And can I call method 1 here?
No. No.
Can I call method 1? You cannot call here also method 1. Why? Because
Method 1 is
method 1 access modifier is
Private.
private. Remove this also removed. Remove. And anyhow there is no C2 class. That's why remove these two statements also. That's it. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So compilation and execution. Okay. Execution, compilation and execution. When you are executing this program, how it is executing. Program execution starts by main method and created object for C1 class. Obj to C1 dot method 2. Obj to C1 dot method 2. Here method 2 is method 2. Obj method 2. Yeah. What is happened? Method 2 is calling again method 1. Method 1 is calling again. Method 2 is calling. Method 2 is calling and control will come back. This is the story about this. Method 1 is calling, method 2 is calling. Finally, we understood about private. What did you understand about private? Private means which we can access only within the class. Over. Story is completed. Okay, now right. Next to come back to our discussion. Right. Third concept. Third concept is
Protected.
Internal.
protected. Third concept is protected. Third concept is protected. Yeah. Whenever the people will call to me, when they will come for training, they will in starting, Yeah, people I have seen from US, especially students, protected, we declare a class or class member access modifier as a protected, which can be accessed by the current class members and derived class members, which can be accessed by the current class members and derived class members. So if you want to understand protected is the concept is depending on inheritance. Protected is a concept is depending on inheritance. You need to understand more clear about inheritance in this regard. Here you need to understand more clear about inheritance. Okay. So what is inheritance? What is inheritance? Any idea?
Accessing
Inheriting from
from
one class, some features or some methods of one class into the another class. To keep in simple terms, like parents, kids get some features from
Yeah.
parents.
So
accessing base
that
class to
means C1 class parent class members are able to child class. Yes or no, because of inheritance, right?
yes.
Yes.
Nivedita, right?
Child class member can have access to the parent
Parent
class.
class can access child class.
Parent, Prithvi is telling
Child
parent class
class
can
can access
access
parent class.
child
No,
class.
child class have
Child
child
class
class
can
have
Child
access
class can access
members
parent
of
class.
parent class.
Now,
Child class
Nivedita,
is
you
the
tell me,
derived class.
take 1 minute,
Parent class is
listen. Because of inheritance, child class can access parent class members. Nivedita, yes or no?
yes, sir.
Then tell me how child class can access parent class members because of inheritance. Reason is what?
To avoid the like writing the code multiple
No, no,
times to
no.
avoid that.
No. My question is whatever you said is 100% right and somebody confused. Somebody are telling parent class is able to access child class members. Not like that. There are two classes. There are two classes. Class C1, right? Class C2, C2 colon C1. So C1 has a member called A, C2 has a member called BB. But because of the inheritance, A also will be coming logically to which class?
P2.
C1
Class
class
two.
can access only A, C2 class can access B and A.
A.
Here question is to Nivedita is, what is the question to you is, how C2 class is able to access C1 class members because of inheritance. Hmm.
By creating an object for C1.
Hmm. Hmm.
Actually, didn't follow the question, sir.
No. My question is C2 class is able to access C1 class members because of inheritance.
Because of that quote in between,
Reason
yeah.
behind this is what? How it is
Because
possible? How it is
that colon.
possible? You said because of colon. That is okay. This is a syntax. Behind what is happening? How it is coming?
So memory is allocating for both the variables in C2 class as well as child class as well as the parent class, like for states, and for behaviors the address are stored for both parent class and child class in the new object created for the child class.
I didn't get you. What is that? Sukanya, tell me.
My idea is the memory is allocated when an object is created for the child class. The memory is allocated for states for both parent and the child class, as well as the address for the behaviors of both parent and child are stored in the object, and both the constructors are called.
So you are guessing or you have seen anywhere in our materials or somewhere else?
No, sir. I know that it is it can access. Now, when you put the question, then I understood that probably because all the objects are having the memory of
Very
the states and
good thinking. Good thinking. Yes, that guess is right. 100% right. Let me explain to you all the guys. The concept is inheritance. What is happening because of inheritance? Inheritance will establish the relation between two classes. Inheritance is establish the parent and child relation between two classes. Parent and child relation means what? Parent, whatever he has, he will give to the child, but not vice versa. Child is getting or inheriting everything from the parent. That relation is establishing between two classes because of a concept called inheritance. Because of a concept called inheritance. Okay, yeah. With this, we understood that. So what exactly it is, right? Class C1 syntax. I'm giving you. Yes, class C2 colon C1. So here one important point is C1 is the parent class, C2 is the child class. To implement inheritance, we'll use colon. Colon C1 means C1 is the parent class. Parent, because of inheritance, parent class members are inheriting to the child class. Suppose child class is having B and parent class is having A. A is automatically coming to B, not physically, logically. C2 will feel my members are B and A. C1 will feel my members are A. Physically A will be in C1 only, but logically you have that accessibility. That will happen because of inheritance. So with this you can say because of inheritance, superclass members are inheriting to subclass. Superclass means C1, subclass means C2. Otherwise, parent class members are inheriting to child class. Otherwise, base class, C1 is base class members are coming to derived class. Base class, derived class, super class, subclass, and parent class and child class. Let me give you with small example here, all of you guys. Let me give you with small example about this. Try to concentrate what I am going to explain here. Generally, for just a common example, okay, don't take it as serious. Class father, class father. Father is having one car. Class child colon father colon father. Child is having one bike. Okay, so yeah, child can access what?
Bike
Bike. Only
Bike,
bike.
and
car.
car. Bike and
bike
car.
and car.
For example, child is having one girlfriend. She is asking her, these both people are planning to go to Sunday weekend outside. But she said, come with your father car, then only I'll come with you. Then is child can access father car or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. When father is sleeping, he will tell to mother that we'll go to shopping to next weekend. So she will give the keys to child. Father is wake up. Father is what is happening? Father is asking. Immediately mother will shout, come on, take rest. Yes or no? Now finally, father car keys got by the child and the child is able to access the father car. Okay, so here we identified one thing. Because of the inheritance, child can access his bike and his father class member. So that is the beauty of a concept called inheritance. But according to Prithvi, what he said, parent class also can access child members. Is it possible? But it is not vice versa. Let's say father is having one girlfriend. Assume like that. Okay. Don't take it as serious. Don't tell to your mothers. Okay. Now, just for kidding. He is having a girlfriend. His college time girlfriend. She ex-girlfriend. She called him, she called him, and we both go out, but I'll not come by your car. You have to bring your child bike. But can father can use child bike generally, according to inheritance I'm talking. It is not
Yes.
possible. So with this what we are identified that because of the inheritance, super class members can access child class, but not vice versa. Not vice versa means parent class cannot access what child class members cannot get it. That is a concept called inheritance. That is a concept called inheritance. So there I raised one question is how super class is able to access the child class members. That I'll explain at the time of inheritance you will get more clarity, but even though I raised the question, that's why I will give you the conclusion. Give me some time. In example, I'll show you that. Okay. Right. So let's come back to our protected concept. Actual concept is protected here. What is protected? If we declare a class or class member access modifier as a protected, which can be accessed by the current class members, which can be accessed by the current class members and derived class members, which can be protected members can be accessed by the current class members and derived class members. Okay, for example, I'll give you one small example for this protected. Yes. Okay, right. Yeah. Let's take. You are staying in village. Village. Nowadays, this example will not work out. I'm talking about 20 years back example or 15 years back example it is. Who are having experienced villages will have a can understand very well. So you also try to understand this is Indian culture. Okay, right. Try to catch. Okay, you are staying in a village. In villages, generally, now everybody are having mineral water, but generally few years back, in villages, we will have a sweet water wells. Water wells will be in total village, one or two wells will be the sweet water well means it's similar like coconut water. Okay, so people were using all the drinking water from that water wells. You are staying in your house. This is your house C1. C2 is your neighbor house. C3 is another neighbor. Your house is a class. It is a class C1 class. It is a C2 class. It is a C3 class. C3 class. In C1 class, we have, let's say in your house, you have a water well. You have a water well, sweet water well you have luckily in your house, coconut water, very demanded water. Okay, but you declared the access modifier of this water well is protected and C1 C2 C2 and C1 with C2 you have a big fight, so it is not your derived class, it is your enemy. Okay, it is your no relation, big fight. But C3 is your good close friend, means C3 colon what? C1 means C1 is having, which is the derived class of C1? C3. Okay, now C1 family members, C2 family members and C3 family members. Right, my question is who can access this water well?
Even
Family members in C.
Even members can access or not?
Yes.
Protected means which can access by current class and derived class. Is it possible by C2? C2?
No, sir.
No, few, you have to answer. Few, are you there? Are you there? Yeah. Now, is C2 people can access this water well or not, guys?
no.
No, not. Why? Because C2 is not the derived class of, because your well access modifier is what? Protected. Protected. So, not possible. What about C3 members?
Yes.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Because whenever we have a fight with this neighbor, definitely we'll close with this neighbor. That is common because we have to talk about these people with these people only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, otherwise we can't sleep. So we have to every day something we have to tell to them. They have to tell something. So exchanging will be super. Okay. So good relation, right? It's common, human psychology, right? So that is the story. So we identified that protected members means what? Which can be accessed by the what is that? Current class
Current class
and
and
the
derived
class and the derived class.
derived class.
Derived class. Our story is completed. The story is complete. Generalized example. These are all the generalized examples I have given. Only the reason is example one program you can't remember forever, but these generalized examples will be fixed in your mind forever. Whenever you are recalling that concept, that generalized example will recall. That is the reason maximum I will try to give some generalized examples. Huh? Right? Don't consider all the personal things in that. Okay, just remember concept example. That is to remember the concept. I have given that example. Over. Story should end there itself. Huh? It should not carry to anywhere. Right. Now come back to our discussion. Right. Let's come back to same C1 example. Now I am writing the code for protected. Protected. Right. Protected. Protected example. You guys, you can observe. All right. Protected method one is a protected one. Protected method one is a protected one. Okay. Now you see. Right. Protected wise. Method one, method two. My question is, can I access method one within the method two?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
because current class members. Okay. Now coming to class C2 colon C1. C1. Here I have defined one more method. Internal void, let's say show. My question is, show is from which class?
C2.
C2 class. But method 1 and method 2 are from which class?
C1.
Now, within the show method, my question is, can I access method 1 and method 2?
Yes.
Can
Method
I,
1 we can
method
access.
1 and
Yes, sir.
can I?
Only method 1 we can access.
Yeah. Can I access? Forget about method 2. Method 2 వదిలేద్దాం. Leave it method 2. We don't require now discuss about this right now. I'm asking about method 1. Can I access in C? Forget about method 2 for some time. Think about method 1. Can I access method 1 or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Why I didn't ask you to think about method 2? Because this access modifier we didn't discuss much. That's why. Okay, unnecessary confusion. Method 1 can access in C2 or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why? Because access modifier is what?
Protected.
Protected means which can accessed by
Current class and
Current
the
class and derived
now
class.
you are from which class? Derived class. So you can access. You can access. You can access. How to access method 1? By creating object for C1 class or direct.
You can directly
Directly.
But whenever you are accessing a class member from outside the class, generally you need to create what?
object.
Object. But here don't we require object?
No.
No, sir. Because
Reason.
The same class, right?
Yeah. Because of that object is not required whenever you are trying from the derived classes. Whenever you are trying from the derived classes, you don't require what? Object. So only for derived classes we have that exemption. We have that facility. Why you have that facility? Programmatically in memory allocations I will show you. When you are accessing superclass members within the subclass, why we don't require object? The reason I will show you in memory allocation, but you remember that you can access directly. You can access Because tomorrow somebody will ask you, what is the reason behind this? We have to explain practically. Show is calling. Show is calling. Right. Right. C2. C2. Over. Story completed. My question is, within the main method, I want to access method 1. Can I?
No.
No.
We have to
No.
create.
Why? Because method 1 access modifier is protected. Protected can be accessed to current class and
Derived
Derived.
class.
Derived
derived
class.
class. So your program is not a derived class of C1. Right. Next, can I access method 2? Okay, generally
Yes.
internal members we are trying to access all. So I can. How to access? By creating
Object.
object for which class?
C1.
C1, C1, obj1 equal to new C1 equal to
Equals.
new C1,
Equal to object.
Equals sign.
Equals sign.
C1 obj1 dot what method 2. And I want to access method. I want to access show method. Yes. Again you have to create object for which class?
C2. C2
C2.
class.
Obj C2 equal to new
New
C2.
C2.
C2 obj C2 equal to new C2. 1 minute. 1 minute here. Again what is happening? C2 obj C2 dot which method? Show. But here is there any relation between C2 class and C1 class?
Yes.
Here,
Yeah.
yes.
What is that? Parent and
Derived class.
child. Parent and child. Whenever you have parent and child, to access parent class members, you don't require to create object for parent class. Instead of you are creating two objects, you can create object for directly one class, that is called what? Child class.
Okay, C2.
Instead of creating two objects, you can achieve this with one object. C2 obj equal to new C2. C2 obj dot, you are getting method 2. You see obj dot, you are getting show. Even though it is object of C2 class, but dot means it is showing C1 class members also. Observed?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Why it is coming? I'll tell you. I'll show you with the evidence. You are able to create. With I, we are identified that superclass members can be accessed with the help of subclass object, derived class object. It is possible because of inheritance. Right. Now, if you need to get more clarity about that, why it is possible, how superclass is members are able to access with the help of subclass object, we have to see the memory allocations. We have to see the memory allocations. Okay, now, right. I have sent the code to you, all of you guys. Just now I have sent C1 class code, C2 class code. Copy and paste into your Visual Studio first. Right. Next to. Right. Next time I'll copy and paste the. Yes. Right. Main method code. I have copy and paste the main method code also I've sent to you all. Right. Did you taken the code, all of you?
Yes, sir.
I'm doing memory allocation. At the time of I'm doing memory allocation, you people have to display C1 and C2 code like this. Then only it will be easy for us to understand. Right. You observe. What is going to happen? You observe. Program execution starts from main method. I'm showing you the memory allocations here. Try to understand. Yeah. You observe. Main method. Okay guys, main method you observe. Yeah, in main method, first to new new here, new. What is happening, you know? Whenever you are creating, right now you are creating object for which class?
T2.
Yes, whenever you are trying to create object for C2 class, C2, yes, it will have a colon. What is a colon?
Inheritance.
C1, C1, C1. So whenever you are creating object for a derived class, whenever it will say C2 colon C1, control will go to C1 class. It will first create object for C1 class. First it will create object for which class? C1 class. That means whenever you are trying to create object for, whenever you are trying to create object for derived class, it will create first object for which class?
Parent class.
Parent class. That point you to remember forever. Whenever we are creating object for derived class, it will first create object for which class? Parent. Parent class. How it will be means I will show you very clearly here. First, it will create object for, it will create object for parent class, because first super class it will create object. How it will create object, you know, it will create object like this. Object of C1, that address will be 1010. This C1 class object contain addresses of the C1 class methods. How many methods are there in C1 class?
2 methods.
What is the first method?
Method 1.
Method 1. And the second method?
Method 2.
Method 2. Method 1 and method 2. After creating object for C1 class, and what will happen? It will come to derived class and it will create object for, and it will create object for what?
Derived class.
It will create, see, C1 class object contain address of method 1 and method 2. Again it is creating one more object. Now it is creating object for a derived class. What is a derived class?
C2.
T2.
C2. And that object address is 2020. 1010 is the address of the object of C1. 2020 is the address of the object of C2. That C2 class object address is holding the address. C2 class object will be holding the address of the C2 class method. What is the C2 class method?
Sure.
Sure. Here with this we identified one thing. Whenever we created object for derived class, first it is creating object for the super class. Next it is creating object for subclass. Subclass. Child class object contain which class object right now?
Parent class C1.
Parent class. Now it is creating a reference variable, that is obj. This obj variable type is what? What type variable it is?
C2. Reference type.
Now you can observe here in assignment operator, you can observe RHS contain data, but here you have how many type data? 2 type data. This data is a type of
C1.
C1. This data, this object is type of
C2.
C2. Because of assignment operator, it will to take the C2 type data address. That address is 2020. Due to that reason, this reference variable is pointing to this memory allocation. That memory allocation contain one more object. This is pointing to 2020 address. That object contain one more object. What is that another object? C1 object. Due to that reason, obj dot means you are getting show method, you are getting
Method 2.
method 2, because the reference variable is pointing to current class object, derived class object is containing super class object. That is the reason that you can able to access all the methods with the help of derived class. With the help of derived class object, you can access superclass methods also. You are able to access here because the object is creating within this object. Understood?
Sir,
Sir, one question.
Don't try to confuse. Here very simple logic it is. Simple logic is because of the inheritance, whenever you create object for a derived class, first standard rule is it is creating object for which class? Super class. First created object is C1, next created object is C2. But here reference variable of which type?
See,
C2. So that's why C2 type reference variable is holding the C2 type object address. That object contain one more object. Which object?
Parent class.
C1 object. That's why obj dot method 2. Obj dot method 2 means you are able to access this method. Why? Because that object is holding that object is part of this object. This object is pointing by this variable. That's why that address is able to access this method also. Obj dot next what method? Show method. Obj dot show. If you understood well, if you didn't understand also, we will get more clarity at the time of inheritance about this concept. Don't try
Sir,
to
just one question.
get confused, unnecessary confusions. What is there to confuse? Here I am giving clear explanation. Tell me.
Sir, I like understood, but one question. When we say C2 object is containing C1 object, that means does it hold the memory address of C1? Like you said 1010, so it will have 1010 in it.
Yes.
I didn't get you. What is that?
I mean, when we are saying like C1 object is created at 1010 and C2 object is created at 2020, so the C2 object will contain the address of C1 object.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Right. That instead of showing object in some location and this is holding 1010, generally we will show what the object is creating within this object. The meaning of that is that only. Okay. Okay. Finally, reference variable is pointing to this object. This object is holding this object. This object is holding that object means that object address is holding by this object. Okay. Understood?
yes,
Yes.
sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So finally, you have to remember one important point. That is how you are able to access the super class members within by using subclass object, or how superclass members are coming to the subclass because of inheritance. Means the reason behind this is whenever you create an object for a derived class, main point you have to remember is whenever you have created an object for a derived class, it is internally creating object for
Parent class.
all parent classes. Right now today one parent class, tomorrow you have multiple parent classes. Whenever you create an object for a derived class, it will create an object for all its super classes. Due to that reason only, in inheritance concept, parent class members are coming to
child class.
child
Child
class.
class.
Child class. Evidence is this is the evidence. Okay. Now obj dot method 2 and obj dot show, and regarding outputs you know very well clearly about that. Right. Come back to the next concept is what is the next one?
Protected internal.
Internal.
Internal protected internal. Right. Now clear. Yes. Right. Internal and protected internal we will see tomorrow. Some more discussion is there on access modifiers. That is called a default access modifiers also there. That all these things may take tomorrow first 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So don't miss the session, and after that we will go to the next topic called next two topics are passing parameter mechanism. It will complete tomorrow, and we will enter into property what is a property concept, access modifiers, next passing parameter mechanism, call by value, call by if, call by out, then property, then principles of oops. So almost all right, we'll complete very soon this topic. String builder. Some interview questions are there in Prudvi which I didn't
Yeah.
means you go through it. You try to understand couple of questions, okay? Which I didn't
Yeah.
you try yourself.
Afternoon I saw that one.
No, no. I have given concept. How do you know that the concept is there? Don't remind me. You try yourself. One or two questions I'm missing means you try for all. You try yourself. Still, end of the training, if any one couple of questions are missed, we'll try to discuss if we have the time. Okay?
Yeah.
Tomorrow you are attending an interview. Some questions will come which we didn't discuss. Nobody can predict that everything I'm discussing. 99% you don't have choice. Come some questions, string builder, some topics differences. We'll try last end of the course what I used to do the last 1-2 days. I will check all the interview question bank in front.